Hi, my name is Maya Milusheva. I'd like to start with a short introduction about myself. I'm a woman in IT, obviously. I'm a CEO of a quite profitable IT company. I'm a mother as well, so you would say I went through quite a lot in the IT industry. So I have the experience and authority to talk about this topic. Now, what I want to say is that the whole talk about women in IT is usually a bad thing for us. Because basically what it says is, well, it's okay to have lower income, it's okay to do worse than boys in the IT industry because, well, there's a world conspiracy against you, you know, people hate you, that's why. So that's why I'm against the whole talk. Also, I did some recruiting because I have a company. And also I went to a school that had like 8 girls and 100 boys. So, you know, I'm quite used to being around a lot of boys. The whole thing is, girls are usually quite lazy. They're just not that good programmers. Sorry, but that's true, honestly. They just don't want to get their hands dirty to do the job. And
you pressed pause so quickly. What did you have to say to that?
Wait, what?
So this is a female CEO who has her own company, who does her own hiring, and she's saying that in her experience,
Girls
women
are
are
more
lazy.
lazy.
Yeah, girls, women, they're more lazy. What do you have to say to that?
Do you know what? As she said it, I was like, hell nah. You know, women are not lazy because women do a lot generally. You know what I'm saying? Like, women in typical aspects are always going to clean the house, whereas a man is more likely, not saying all before I get, you know.
No, but they're talking in the workspace.
No, but just let me explain my thought process. So I'm thinking, this is what I'm thinking, like, men are the ones who just sit on their ass and women clean and they cook and they do everything, whatever. But then after I've paused it and now I'm taking it in a workplace, do I think women are more lazy? Not necessarily, but can I understand where she's coming from? Yes. I feel like men are the sort of people that just get on with it, whereas women are a lot more, they want to sit around and talk and chit chat. They want to
gossip.
Yeah, and just, you know, it is that attitude of just pondering and can't be bothered, whereas men are just like, let me just get this done and go home. So I can understand it.
The laziest and most complacent people I've ever met in my life are women.
In the workplace.
Yeah.
I can understand it, but there is a lot of lazy men out there too, but I can understand it.
There's loads of lazy men. I've known loads personally. I've been lazy at one point in my life when I was unmotivated, but in general, the laziest people in the workplace I've ever met are women.
Okay.
And I've met a lot of very hard-working women. A lot. And I know women that work harder than some of the men. Yeah, like, you're a hard-working woman. You're here doing this with me. We record for hours. But I know loads of women that are extremely lazy and just want to take the easy way out. They don't want to grind for anything. There's loads of aspects of life where that is very true. Not to get too off topic, but Brazilian butt lifts, they're a lazy way, like, of getting a big peachy bum. Instead of just going to the gym and doing some squats and building your body, what do? They go, and the thing is I can understand the breast implants. I know I'm going off topic here, but just allow me, just this one thing. I can accept the breast implants because there's no amount of gym work that can build you a chest, right? If you're born that way, you're born that way. But you can go to the gym and get a peachy butt if you want, but instead you take the cheap way and get Brazilian butt
I agree
lifts.
with you. You can go to the gym and work on improving your body. However, genetically, not everyone's body will be able to go a certain way. So I could look at someone like Summer Rae and be like, yeah, I want to get my body like her. But physically and genetically, my body will not be able to go like hers.
But you can make improvements to yours.
I can make improvements, but it's not going to look like hers. I don't want a BBL, by the way. I don't think they look nice. It would be a way of getting your body to look, say, a certain way that you might want it to, that you can't physically do in the gym.
I don't think you can physically get to a Brazilian butt lift level anyway. They look absolutely absurd.
I know. I don't like the way they look, but I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
You can sculpt your body so that you do get a nice curve, so there is more shape there. You can do that through squatting. We've seen women that do it. They go from literally having pancakes to having a nice sculpted ass. But a lot of women take the easy way. I know this has nothing to do with the workplace. I'm getting completely off topic, so.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
And when I tried to do some recruiting, I intentionally wanted to recruit women. And at the end, I failed to do so. Do you want to know why? Because most of those girls were usually just cheating, and they They were just not good programmers. At the end, I had to recruit boys. And that's why I think the whole talk about let's recruit more women is bad, because at the end, you're recruiting worse programmers. At the end, your company is going to suffer. You're going to lose some money. I know it's trendy to talk about women in IT, but I think women should just start studying more and getting the job done. And I honestly don't see girls staying up until late at their office and working that often. No, it's usually boys staying there. Why? I don't know. So that's what I want to say. I think the whole lecture should be removed, and I think it's just bullshit.
So this successful woman who runs a company has basically just told these three girls, and any woman that is listening, in general, women don't like to get their hands dirty. They won't sit up late learning something as complex as coding, whatever programs or software they're using to code, and they cheat a lot on their tests, and they're in general just very lazy. What do you think about that?
I somewhat agree. For example, coding is something I've always wanted to get into. I think it's something that can be very good, quite well paid. Do I have the motivation to stay up late learning it? No. Number two, not putting myself down because I'm a very intelligent girl. I feel like I'm too dumb to understand that specific thing as well.
But that's the thing. If you're willing to put the work in, you will understand it.
You will, but
I learned to code, and I found it difficult in the beginning, but you have to be willing to put in the hours. And I can only code on a very basic level because I didn't pursue it. But you have to put in the hours in order to do something like that. You have, and it's the same with this YouTube channel that we're doing. We have to put in the hours.
Yeah.
No matter how much you might have other responsibilities, if you want something to be successful, or you're going to be successful at whatever endeavor you're doing, you have to break your back doing it, essentially.
I think you've got to want it as well. So maybe it depends on if these people really want this job as a career that she's talking about, or whether they don't, because I could stay up all night doing filming, editing and things like that. But if you wanted me to stay up and learn about cryptocurrency, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like, the media is an industry where you do get a lot of women, but they're saying in these industries that are heavily dominated by men, like IT.
Yeah.
IT is predominantly male. You rarely get women in IT. As a matter of fact, most IT teams I've worked in, I can't remember having a single female colleague. I think the reason for that is that coding and working in IT is a difficult job. It's a difficult endeavor. And I think if a woman is good at it, you should hire her. You should always hire the best person for the job. But the problem with this, and the reason that this woman is speaking out, is because they're saying that we must hire women. And she's just said out of her own mouth that she intentionally tries to search for more women, and she fails every time. So it's not that they are not trying to hire women into these male-dominated fields. It's that they are, and the women are not willing to put in the hours in these male-dominated fields to get to the level that the men are at.
Is she giving these women a chance to see how they even perform, or is she just declining straight at interview stage?
I assume she's giving them the same criteria to meet as the men, which is the fairest way to do it, right? IT is not a physical endeavor. It's one of intelligence, or like competency, remembering, coding, and basically just staying on top of things, right? When the systems go down, you need to be there to fix them.
Yeah.
So I imagine that she's giving them the same opportunities. This isn't a thing where it's unfair on women. It's not like a physical endeavor, like if you put a women's football team against a men's football team, we all know what the result's going to be. This is a thing where women should be able to be on the same level as men. But there's a very clear-cut reason why more men are hired into these fields, and why it's probably going to stay that way for a very long time, if not forever, until the machines take us over or whatever. The reason I showed you this video is because a lot of people think that women just don't get hired because they're women. And you've got a female CEO telling you exactly why she doesn't hire women. And you've got to imagine that this happens in more places than just her company.
I get it. And as a woman, I can understand it myself as well. So,
yeah. Do you have anything you want to add to it?
No.
Ladies, stop your whining.
Work harder.